Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall one omit. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered. I got my B-I-B-L-E and I keeps it on my side. I got my B-I-B-L-E and I keeps it in my ride. I got my B-I-B-L-E and I keeps it all the time. Teaching on the blocks, we be on the most high's grind. I got my B-I-B-L-E and I keeps it on my side. I got my B-I-B-L-E and I keeps it in my ride. I got my B-I-B-L-E and I keeps it all the time. Teaching on the blocks, we be on the
at ease. Like the brother was breaking out in the spirit that you so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians are the Israelites. Go ahead, use that. Yeah, use that one. You are the Israelites according to the Bible. According to the Bible, you have slave names on you now, like black and Hispanic and Native Indian, African American. Those are slave names. God calls you Judah in the Bible. And because you are called by these slave names, now you keep slave idolatry customs. Like we got right now. A lot of you don't know that Easter is pagan. Easter is pagan. It goes all the way back to the Canaanites. And then Rome took it from them. The Greeks and Romans took it and gave it to you when you was in slavery.
Bring it out.
But Christ never, ever celebrated Easter.
That's right.
That's for all the Christians out there. Christ never celebrated Easter.
Right.
That is not a custom of the Israelites, you so-called blacks and Hispanics. Give me Hosea 9:1 first. That is not a custom of you Israelites, you so-called blacks and Hispanics. That is a slave custom. You are still serving slavery to this day. And we're going to show you what God says about celebrating idolatrous hell days.
Read. Hosea chapter 1, verse 9. Hosea chapter 9, verse 1. Rejoice not, O Israel, for joy as other people.
So God is telling his chosen people, the Israelites, you so-called blacks and Hispanics, not to rejoice as other people. He says you shouldn't be keeping Easter. God did not give that to you as a commandment. Read.
For thou hast gone a-whoring from thy God.
You have gone a-whoring from your God by keeping Easter. Nobody, I have money right now. I'll empty out my bank account. If anybody can show me where Jesus Christ celebrated Easter, the money is on the table. Show me where Jesus celebrated Easter in the Bible. Show me where Christ died on Friday and got up early Sunday morning. Don't you know that's a day and a half? We are the smartest people on the planet. We can count. If he died on Good Friday, that's one day. He was in the ground on Saturday, and then you said he got up early Sunday morning. That's a day and a half because he died at sundown on Friday. That is a day and a half, maybe 2 days. Christ said he would be in the ground for 3 days and 3 nights. He did not die on no Good Friday and resurrect early Sunday morning. Read that again.
Yeah. Rejoice not, O Israel, for joy as other people.
So God is telling you blacks and Hispanics who are the Israelites not to rejoice as other people, not as these heathens of the other nations that are around you. You are different from them. You are separate. You know how we can tell? Because you're in the worst communities all over America. You are separated from them. If you go out to, what's that real good neighborhood out here? Windermere, you won't find none of our people out there in Windermere. Why? Because you are separate from them. They know you are not their people. They don't want you living around them. What happens when black people start to move into the same neighborhood where whites are, blacks and Hispanics? The white people move out because they know you're not their people. They don't want to be around you. You are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's right.
Black is a color. There is no country called black. Africa is a continent. It has 50 different countries on the continent. Which country do you come from? You don't know. Why? Because you're not from there. You are the Israelites according to the Bible.
Right.
Let's get back on this pagan Easter thing. What did God say to us?
Rejoice not, O Israel, for joy as other people. For thou hast gone a-whoring from thy God. Thou hast loved a reward upon every corn floor.
So that's why you celebrate Easter. Because you love that reward. You love getting dressed up and going to church one day out of the year. And trying to look good for everybody in your three-piece player suit.
Right.
The women are dressed up like whores. When you go to church nowadays, it's more of a club than it is church. Pastor sleeping with 2 or 3 women in the congregation. You got a pimp over here. You got a hooker over here. And the pastor ain't telling nobody who's doing wrong. Twerking in the church. The church has become a joke. Why? Because it's not ordained by God.
Right.
So let's get the scriptures of where God tells us Israelites, you blacks and Hispanics, to celebrate. Give me Leviticus chapter 26, verse 1. We're going to show you blacks and Hispanics, who are the Israelites according to the Bible, what you shall be celebrating. You shouldn't be celebrating Easter. Tell your pastor to show you where Christ celebrated Easter in the Bible.
Right.
He can't do it because Christ kept the Passover.
That's right.
He kept the Passover with his disciples.
Right.
So where does Easter come from? It's pagan. It came from the same people that put you in slavery.
That's right.
The so-called white man. They put you in slavery and forced Easter on you. You Israelites, you blacks and Hispanics. Read what we should be celebrating.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make no idols.
Oh, not that. Leviticus 23. Leviticus 23 and 1. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord.
So God is about to tell you the feast of the Lord, what you're supposed to be celebrating. Because you cannot show me anywhere on earth where an Easter bunny lays eggs.
Right.
An Easter bunny does not lay eggs. A bunny does not lay eggs.
That's right.
Wake up, people. One thing you don't know, that this white man is playing on a whole other different level than you so-called Negroes. It's witchcraft. It's symbolism. Just like that pyramid you got on the back of your dollar bill. Symbolism. That's why he has a bunny laying eggs. Bunnies don't lay eggs. That means it's the god of fertility. But you don't do research because Negroes don't read. Hispanics don't read. Read that.
Which concerning the feast of the Lord, which in the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
It's the Lord's what?
Passover.
No, it's Easter.
Passover.
You will only see Easter one time in the Bible, and that's in the New Testament. Why? Because it was miscorrectly translated. We have the Bible dictionaries that show you that is supposed to say Passover.
That's right.
Read that again.
In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover.
It's the Lord's Passover. So if you calling yourself Christian, if you calling yourself holy and sanctified by God, washed in the blood of Jesus, why you celebrate Easter?
Right.
We just read the Lord's Passover, not the Lord's Easter celebration. These are things we got to think about as a people.
Right.
We got to quit being caught up in Atlanta Housewives,
right,
and American Idol,
right,
and Love and Hip Hop, and
right,
Tiny and T.I.
Right.
Empire.
Empire.
We so gone off of that mess. The white man has got you in a daze.
Right.
You don't even know that World War III is on its way. All of the Middle East is being bombed and it's on its way over here.
Right.
But the Negroes are asleep watching LeBron dunk on
Right.
Tuesday nights.
Right.
Wednesday night, NBA basketball.
Right.
Wake up. You are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's right.
You blacks and Hispanics.
Right.
You are the chosen people of God.
Right.
It is time to act like it. Give me Matthew 26 and 18.
Yeah.
Now we're going to show you what Christ celebrated. Now I say, a lot of people say, I got a personal relationship with Christ. Well, then you should be doing what he did. You should know what he did. Christ didn't keep Easter. Read what Christ did.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 18.
So we're about to read what Christ, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, what he kept with his disciples. Read.
And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand.
Christ was about to be crucified. His time was at hand. Read what he did.
I will keep the Passover.
Hold on. Christ said, I will do what?
I will keep the Passover.
Christ said, I'm going to keep what?
The Passover.
Christ did not keep Easter.
That's right.
Wake up, black man and black woman. Easter is a pagan religion.
Right.
Just like Christianity is a pagan religion.
That's right. Right.
Seventh-day Adventist is a pagan religion.
That's
Roman
right.
Catholicism is a pagan religion.
That's right.
You Muslims, that is a pagan religion.
That's right.
Those are not found in the Bible. Those are man-made. You Rastas believe it in Haile Selassie as the reincarnation of Christ. That is a pagan religion.
That's right.
You are the Benjamites according to the Bible.
That's right.
But let's get back to what Christ kept. Let's see if he kept Easter or if he kept Passover. Listen up.
I will keep the Passover.
Christ said, I will keep the Passover, not Easter. So if you find yourself in a couple weeks in church celebrating Easter, just know that God ain't in there.
That's right. Right.
Know that for a surety, because we just read out of the Bible what Christ kept. It was Passover. With the big hat on and the bright colors. Know that you are serving Satan. And Satan don't care if you know you serving him or not. As long as you doing it,
That's right.
he'll make it look pretty to you.
Right.
He'll make the preacher sound real good. He'll make the choir sound extra good on that Easter Sunday.
That's right.
And you'll go home stuck in sin.
Number one day to go to church.
The number one day for all drug dealers, pimps, hoes, hustlers to go to church. And
Right.
the pastor won't say nothing.
That's
He'll
right.
see new people in the church that he ain't never seen in his life. And he'll just keep on preaching the word. You know what happens if you come to our school and learn? We're going to ask you, how long you been learning? What you been studying? Who you been learning from? Are you sincere about keeping these commandments?
Right.
Do you want to serve the Lord? Can anybody just walk up in the house of the Lord? You got to be ready to serve him and prepare yourself for temptation.
That's right. Right.
Because you are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's
You
right.
blacks and Hispanics. And you are going to be tried with temptation here in captivity.
That's right.
You was brought here as slaves. And you have not went back to the place you came from. What does that make you? You are still a slave in the land of your captivity.
That's right. Right.
Wake up, people. Read that again.
And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover.
Christ kept the Passover with who?
At the house with my disciples.
Christ kept the Passover with his disciples,
That's
with
right.
people of like mind. He gathered with people that was about God, that was for God, that kept the commandments of God, that believed in him. He wasn't bringing a friend to church like your pastor say.
Right.
Where's that in the Bible? Bring a friend to church. Bring your mama to church, your breast cancer wear this day. Where's that at in the church? Where's that in the Bible? You got to wake up and start asking questions. Start asking that pastor, where's it in the Bible that I'm supposed to be paying you tithes and offerings?
Right.
Where's it in the Bible?
Right.
Your pastor can't show you that in the Bible because that is a law that was done away with. It was a part of animal sacrifice for the Levitical priesthood. But let's find out what Easter really comes from, because we've proven that Christ did not keep Easter, he kept the Passover. He said it from his own words out of the Bible, his own mouth. You get that? Bring it up here. We're going to show you where Easter comes from. And if you hear this knowledge, this wisdom, and turn from it, then be prepared to answer to God on Judgment Day for it. Because all our job is to do is to come out here and warn you. And that's all we're doing. We're just warning you of the destruction at hand. That the sin you're in as blacks and Hispanics. Because you are the Israelites according to the Bible.
Right. Right.
Let's read where Easter comes from.
Easter has been celebrated by pagan idol worshippers.
Easter has been celebrated by who?
Pagan idol worshippers.
So if you're a Christian celebrating Easter, you're a what?
Pagan idol worshippers.
It's time to wake up, people.
Bring it out.
No idolater shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 9 tells you that. Read on.
Easter has been celebrated by pagan idol worshippers and can be found in the Old Testament, but only under its original Canaanite spelling.
Under its original Canaanite what?
Spelling.
What's the name of it?
Asherah.
What was the name of Easter before the white man got hold of it?
Asherah.
A pagan holiday. A pagan religion. Not found in the Bible. Christ did not celebrate it. So why are his people, you blacks and Hispanics, the Israelites, why are you celebrating something that Christ did not do? If you call yourself a Christian, you should be following Christ, doing what he did. He did not keep Easter because it was pagan. Christ kept the Passover. Any more on that?
Babylonian custom.
It is a Babylonian custom. Christ did not celebrate Easter. He celebrated the Passover. Give me that again. Let's see. Out of Christ's mouth.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 18.
New Testament.
I will keep the Passover.
What did Christ say?
I will keep the Passover.
So if you call yourself a Christian and you are celebrating Easter, you are practicing idolatry.
Bring it up.
Ancient idolatry that has just changed throughout time. All they have done was put a new spin on it. Now, before they didn't have Easter eggs and a bunny. It was an ancient Canaanite goddess or ancient Greek goddess named Diana. And it was a statue that was full of eggs on her body because that represented fertility.
That's right.
Now all they did was make it more family-oriented, more pleasable to the eye. They gave you a bunny with a bunch of different colors. So you feel good for the kids when they Easter egg hunt. Serving the devil, and you have no idea that you are doing it. I'm not speaking to all people. I'm only speaking to you so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians.
That's right.
Because you are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's right.
You cannot find African American in the Bible.
That's right.
But you can find Judah. You cannot find West Indian or Haitian in the Bible, but you can find Benjamin, Levi. You cannot find Puerto Rican in the Bible, but you can find Ephraim.
Bring it out.
You so-called blacks and Hispanics are the chosen people of God.
That's right.
You should not be celebrating Easter.
Right.
God did not give that to you. He gave you Passover. But why? Why did he give you Passover? It's for you to remember when he delivered you out of Egypt.
That's right.
See, this is one thing our people don't do. We don't search out history.
Right.
There are Egyptians on the walls in Egypt that have other black people in slavery.
Bring it up.
So if there are other black people in slavery on the Egyptian walls, Who are those people today? That should tell you that the so-called Jewish man is not the Israelite according to the Bible.
That's right.
If they claim to be the Jews, well, how come we can't find them on the hieroglyphics in Egypt?
That's right.
The Egyptians documented their history on the walls, and they wrote it in stone so it would last forever.
That's right.
So show me where the white people are on them walls. Serving slavery. You can't do it. Why? Because they are not the real Jews. You so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indians are the Israelites.
That's right.
You are the Jews according to the Bible. Give me that in Mark chapter 7. Now we pulled out all kind of historical facts, scriptures out of the Bible. A lot of people, you hear this stuff and they drive by. But will they celebrate Easter once again just because everybody's doing it? Probably so. But Christ already knew you was going to do that.
Right.
And he already got you pinpointed. Why? Because he knows that you are his people. You are the Israelites according to the Bible.
That's right.
Give me that, Mark 7 and 9. Get it? Go ahead.
Mark chapter 7, verse 9. And he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of God.
So Christ said full well, without a doubt, that his people that he came and died for, they reject the commandment of God. The commandment that says you should keep the Passover, not Easter. Full well you reject the commandment of God. Read.
That ye may keep your own traditions.
Your own what?
Traditions.
Easter is your own traditions. You learned that from your slave master in slavery. He taught you Christianity. Christianity is a curse from God.
That's right.
I'm going to say it again. Christianity and Easter is a curse from God.
That's right.
And we have the historical books to prove it. Where your ancestors, when they was in the fields of Georgia, in the fields of Texas, they was Christians. Because Master taught them to be Christian-like. Let me get it out of here. I gotta pull it. Where our people learn to be Christians.
Bring it out.
Here we go. Get it right here. Right there. What we are reading out of is the book called When I Was a Slave. These are personal interviews from the last generation of people that were slaves here in America before 1865. We're going to see how they learned Christianity. Read it.
This is the book When I Was a Slave. We had the best mistress and master in the world. And they was Christian folks.
Hold on. The slave master was what?
And they was Christian folks.
They was Christian folks, and what they do?
And they taught us to be Christian-like.
Oh, hold on. Whoa. Wait a minute. What did our ancestors say? We read it out of When I Was a Slave. Memoirs from the last generation of slaves. What did the master teach them to do?
And they was Christian folks. They taught us to be Christian-like too.
To be what?
Christian-like too.
So, if you still go to church on Sundays, you crazy. Out of your own ancestors' mouth, they say where they learned Christianity from. They learned it from the slave master.
That's right.
They learned Easter from the slave master.
That's right.
Why are you blacks and Hispanics, known as the Israelites in the Bible, still celebrating the slave master's religion? Wake up, people. Finish reading that.
Every Sunday morning.
Hold on, every what?
Every Sunday morning.
Every Sunday morning. Ain't that what you black people do? You Hispanics? Every Sunday morning, you put on your best dress. Why? Because your slave master taught you to be Christian-like.
Right.
To love everybody. No matter if they hanging you from trees. No matter if they shooting down your young black man in the street. You know how much of a mockery Christianity is? You know how much of a mockery Martin Luther King is? And that so-called civil rights movement? A week after Obama, 50 years after the civil rights movement, walked 1,000 people across the Selma Bridge. What did a white man do? He killed 3 unarmed young black men in the week. The white man, a week after the civil rights 50th anniversary, he killed 3 young black men. Just to let you Negroes know, civil rights ain't helping you at all.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates on all our YouTube channels. Shalom.